welcome to the 13th episode of CIA Bullets. As far as credit rating agencies are concerned, in the entire history of their working, they have only downgraded two countries who managed to secure the position of the fifth largest economy, and these countries are China and India. A similar trend was seen even in terms of purchasing power parity, where since 1994, the only times the third largest economy in purchasing power parity terms lost its ratings was when China and India emerged as the third largest economy. Credit rating agencies finds it more difficult to upgrade poor countries relative to rich countries, and most of these credit rating agencies are actually based out of Western nations. Before heading further, let us try to understand what you mean by purchasing power parity. It is basically a comparison between the prices of a specific basket of goods in different countries in their respective currency. Comparing the price of McDonald's burger in India and in USA is a classic example. The currencies are said to be on par when the basket of goods is priced the same, taking into account of their exchange rates. Credit rating agencies are often blamed for a home bias. Home bias means credit rating agencies generally are more favorable to the Western nations rather than to the developing economies. The interesting scenario here is India is a negative outlier as its ratings is much below its expected levels for its level of GDP growth. There is a negative correlation which exists between sovereign credit rating and consumer price index. Even in this front, India is a negative outlier because for the levels of CPI expectation, India is still rated very low. Even when India was growing at 6% during most of the 1990s and mid 2000s, India's sovereign credit rating was of speculative grade, which simply means can India pay back the money that it has borrowed? It is speculative, it is not trustworthy enough. That is what it means. Well, there comes the next outlier, which is India has a zero sovereign default history. Which is simply translated into the failure or refusal of the government to pay back its dues. CRAs basically tracks the probability of default, which reflects the willingness and ability of the borrower to repay. India's external debt as a percentage of GDP is less than 5%, and out of this, maximum, that is 54%, is owned to multilateral agencies and the IMF. India's Forex reserves crossed $600 billion and it can cover imports for more than 12 months. But this has not transformed into an upgradation of India's ratings by the credit rating agencies. India's total external debt is lower than its Forex reserves. Roughly translated, it means India's Forex reserves can pay off its entire quota of external debt. For more such useful videos, subscribe to Capstone IAS Academy.